What's up, everyone? Thanks for stopping by. Hey, I appreciate you coming by. I know it's been a little bit since I posted. This year's been fun with the short and everything I had going on, trying to figure that out. Which I'll link that video if you want to watch it. But in the process of looking for that short, I had disconnected all of my wiring for the whips. You know, honestly, the wiring was great. Sometimes I just want to get shit done, and I just kind of make the best of what I have. I got to learn how to take a step, kind of think things through because there's better ways. I'm glad I did. Essentially, the whips that I have allow you to run them to, your different power settings. So like your brakes, your reverse, left and right turn signal, and those are your power wires right here. So I was looking around the other day. I ended up picking up a new one of these because I don't know where mine went. I don't know if I just got pissed at it one day and threw it away. But I bought a new one. And then I was thinking, man, there's got to be a better way to connect, these wires to the truck wires, maybe using our electrical plug here. So I was like, I started researching and I came across, I think this thing is so dope. It's a RV 7-pin trailer plug adapter. I never thought in my 20s I would be nerding out over a trailer plug adapter, but check this out, guys. Look how cool this is. This little guy, right, allows you to plug it in here like this. It gets in there nice and tight. And if you look right here, it locks in. There's a little lock here. Like, it was made for this. I love it. And then also, you got these two hooks here to pull this out, right? So you kind of can reach, grab it, and pull it out with these two hooks here. And we're not even done nerding out on this thing yet, because I'm going to bring you on the table and show you how cool this is. So essentially what we're going to do is wire these lights. So the wiring, I should say, we're going to wire the wiring for our LED whips through this plug, okay? So now, when I don't want the whips on, I can just unplug here, from here, and let it sit there. So they'll always be there and ready whenever I want to use them. I mean, aside from obviously removing the whips when I don't want them on there, but now I feel more comfortable with this plug than having, vampire clips onto the factory wiring, which I didn't like that to begin with. So I'm going to get you on the table. So I'm going to show you how to do and use this plug. And then also we're going to put these connections, on all of these. So we're going to pull the wire back, get the right connections to set this up. But I'm going to show you how to connect it into here because this is pretty cool. So stick around. Should be like kind of really boring and annoying, but we're going to be able to have now able to plug in our whips whenever we want, nice and easy, without vampire clips, all because of this thing right here. All right, let me get you on the table. All right. So let's start with this guy. I'm just going to break this one down for you. So 7-pin connector, the adapter. Box comes with this little Allen. So what you're going to do is get this set screw off. Just going through plastic, so don't go nuts with it. It's not hard. We're gonna pop this off, like this, and then push that out. And here you can see where it allows you to connect. You have all these screws. It's gonna allow you to connect your wiring to here. We'll get into exactly how to do it in a second. I wanted to go over this real quick. So essentially, this is pretty cool too. So you see this. It has the ability to kind of squeeze down on itself. So the tighter you make it, the more it squeezes it down. So let me give you an example. You guys see how open that is right there. Once you start, you hear it closing. It'll keep going. See how much smaller it's getting? See that? So it'll clamp down on the wiring, which is really good. I like that. See how much wider it is now. So I'm just going to push this off to the side for a second like this. I'm going to leave this back in the box because what we're going to do first is these little guys are what I'm using. And the ones I'm using are, it's a 22 to 16 size wiring, all right? So they actually fit on here really good. So let me show you. So this thing is pretty thought out, pretty good, because you get a screw and you get like a backing plate, right? So what you end up doing is, the way you're going to set this up is you want the flat end. So you see how there's a side that goes up and then a flat side? So the side that goes up, push that down so that it sits on the backing plate. You basically want it on the backing plate looking like this. All right, you don't want it like this. You want it like that. And what's cool about this little backing plate is it has these two lips here that are gonna hold everything down in. So you get that on there like this, then you come back with your screw. Like that. And there you see how it's gonna sit in there nice, and your wiring is gonna line up perfectly, okay, with those connections. This one in the center for us, it's gonna be a little bit different because that's our reverse. And what I did was I just bent one kind of oval shaped so that it fit through that hole right there. That's it. So I'm gonna start doing this real quick. Let's get it. I'm gonna just take everything off here and we're gonna just start adding these to the wiring real quick. Okay. So before we start doing our connections, I just wanted to run by this with you because you really got to think this through before you just start plugging in wires. You can't plug anything right now as it is because we need to slide both of these. I'm going to get the wires through here. And that. And we got to get them through here. Just like this. You go ahead and put this on here if you want, just to loosely, just to keep them from moving around so much. Now, what's important here is that you understand how this plugs into this because it has to correspond correctly with all of these wires. So what I like to do is, so I know that this clip, the way that this works into here, this clip is going to go, if you were looking at the back of the truck, looking at this, like, you know, this is the back of the truck, this is going to be on your passenger side, right? So this little thing here, this little clip's got to go to the passenger side. That means that this one up here is going to be on the top. And the way that this has a specific way that it slides into here, you're going to have one that's kind of open, and then there's a little shut off right here where it's closed off, and then one that's completely open, right? This is the one that's going to go to this bolt, right? So the way that this is going to work, it's going to sit in here just like this, right? And then this is going to sit like this. So if you look at this one right here is going to be your top. It looks like, let's do this real quick, just so that we're sure. I'm going to just push the wires out to right here. Just close this in a little bit, right? What I'm going to do is just kind of get this in here the way that it has to go. That's got to sit in here about right there like this, and that's got to plug in like this, right? So that tells me this right here is going to be my top, right? So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to put a little mark here that this is going to be the top. So I'm just going to put a T right here. And then a B right here. Nothing special. Now I know that's my top. What I'm going to do now is let's pull it out real quick. Let me see if I can just force it out here. Perfect. Now don't bother with these colors, but you just need to know our top is the left turn signal. Okay? So what we're going to do now is come over here. Give yourself some room through here to play. You can look at this real quick, and it looks like our left turn over here is going to be the green wire. So I'm going to take the green, put it onto the top, okay? If you look at this clip, it's going to slide through this way. We're going to put the bottom in like that. Perfect. It's a good idea to get the screw through the both of those. And so we do a quick little test fit real quick. way this has to go is like this, and this clicks here. That's gonna clock like this. This is gonna clock like this. Perfect. I'm confident that that's the top one. That is my left turn now is in there correct. Now that you have that top one in, you can just kind of, you have this one set, so you know this next one for us is going to be the negative, right, on this side. That's why I think the cheat sheet is really nice, so you're not keep going back and forth to this thing. Looking at this right here, right next to my left turn is going to be my negative, and over here it's just going to be this black one. I'm going to do the same thing. What I like to do is get it in here like this first, just like that. You can get the screw through both of them. Perfect. And then right there. And that way you can kind of hold it down while you do this.
The plug comes with labeled colors on the back. Just don't pay attention to that. You follow our own wiring for our truck.
All I'm going to do is put this back, and we're just going to confirm the way that we set this up. I'm looking at the mark that I made before. I see it right there. That's my top. The way that this sits in, all right, yeah, that's my top. And then the way that this sits in is just like that, so we should be good to go. So right now, I'm going to let's tighten this guy up. Don't go crazy when you tighten this. Like, just get it snug, because you see how it starts to warp right there a little? That's good. That's not going anywhere. I'm going to give it a little pull back, and then I'm going to just start now squeezing this down. So it basically isn't going to go anywhere. Right there, you got a little bit of play in there and not too bad. If you wanted to, you could start, like, you could maybe fill this in with a little bit of grease or whatnot. I don't think it's terrible. I might fill it just a little, but not bad. But essentially now our whips are plugged in to this harness, and we can just always, whenever we want, just boom, plug that into there, and our whips are now powered up. Okay, so unplugging. So now comes the test, right? So I'm gonna hook it all up to the truck. I'm gonna set you guys up and see if they work. All right, well, here's the function test. I will say that if for any reason you put this in and it doesn't work like right away, you're having issues with it, when you're looking at your drawing, so like when you're looking at this, right, understand that the way the wiring has to go, it's going this way, right? It's running this way. So you just want to make sure when you're looking at this, you know, if that's your top, that's your negative. Sometimes when you're looking at the wiring like on a table and you're looking at the back of this, it's real easy to like reverse them. So just try to think about it in the way that it's getting plugged in, and it's going to go this way. So you know, like the negative has to run this way. So once you get your top down situated, you know, because of this D10 here, you know that's the top, then the next one over is your negative. Sometimes when you're looking at it on the table, it almost looks a little backwards. So if you're having issues, open it up and just take a good look at it. You might have just plugged in something wrong. And not too bad. It's like it starts to warp a little bit, so I don't want to get it too bad. All right, let's see. All right, perfect. It's kind of, once you get it in there a little bit, if you close this on that hook and you push down, it'll kind of squeeze it in a little bit. So now, just quick function test. I am going to, let me turn the lights on the whip. So right now I'm power on, and we turn them on. All right, cool. Well, that works. All right. So I mean, they're working. You see them. I'm gonna wire them. Now I'm gonna make you guys watch. This is really just like I'm gonna wire them the exact same way they were before, kind of under the bed and tucked into the holes that I made, so I can run them up by the cab. I'll put some photos of the last time I did this so you guys can see that. I'm gonna clean this up. I don't like it hanging down the way my bumper setup. It hangs down, so I might just kind of wire it into kind of running horizontal. But much easier, much cleaner way to do it than the vampire clip. So if you guys have any questions for me or anything, just let me know down below. I'll put the links to all this stuff, especially this trailer collection, because it's fairly cheap. But thanks again. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe because it really helps me out. You guys be good out there. Stay safe.